You rock. Okay, so when I say you rock, it doesn't mean that you're literally a stone or a rock. It is just an expression, an English expression. And guess what? In math, we also have expressions, okay? And it is incorporated in algebra. It will have letters, numbers, and operations. Today we will learn how it looks like and we will simplify them. Make your life easier. For example, 5x minus 3 is an expression. What makes it an expression? It has certain parts, okay? The letter, we know the letter, that is called a variable. It could represent any number, right? And the number beside the number beside the letter is called the coefficient, okay? If it's a number alone, it is called a constant, okay? And you know what? If it's separated by a plus or minus, it is called a term. So 5x is one term, 3 in itself is another term. Okay? Remember terms are separated by plus and minuses. And take note, expressions do not have no equal signs. Expressions will have no equal signs. So if I write 5x minus 3 equals 25, because of that equal sign, it is not an expression anymore. It is now called an equation. Equation because of the equal sign. All right, so our focus now are all expressions. Now, these are examples of expressions. So 3 times the sum of x and y. The word sum means I need to add them first. There you go. Put it in the parentheses because it's 3 times. You'll have to multiply by 3. Okay, the words will give you clues on how to write it. 12 less. 12 less means every time you see less than, that means that 12 will be removed, will be taken away. So minus from what? The product. Product means what? Multiply m and n. Okay? 3 times, so 3 times the result, that's times 3. The result of x minus 4, that's x minus 4. When 4 is added to a number, okay, when 4 was added to a number, this is this one, 4 was added to a number, and the sum is divided by 2, this is now showing divided by 2, the result is 3. This is not an expression, it's an equation. Equation. Right? 4 more than twice c. Twice x rather. 4 more, so plus 4. All right? So, which of the following are expressions? This is an expression, an expression, an expression, and an expression because they don't have the equal sign. Now, let's see the meaning of 3m. When you see a number followed by a letter, 3m, that means this is the coefficient. Remember coefficient, coefficient. This is a variable, variable. A variable, m, could represent any number. It could be 3 times 2, right? 3 times 2. It could be any number. 3 times 8.5. It could be any number. It could be 3 times 2.5, right? Because that letter M is called the what? A variable. And what do you do with 3 and M? You multiply them. It could be 3 dot M. It could be parenthesis 3, parenthesis M, meaning you multiply them. And they're taken together as one term. Now, how do I add using keep change opposite? Keep change opposite. So let's see. Every time I see a minus, okay, I will do the keep change opposite. So 3 plus 7, keep this. I keep this. This is a change and opposite. So I'll make it now what? I'll make it a plus. The opposite of 9 is negative 9, right? So I see another subtraction. Change opposite. Okay, so what happens? That becomes a plus negative 2. This is not subtraction, so it retains to be plus 5, right? Why did I do the keep change opposite? Because I saw the subtraction. Now I can add them. Okay, how do you add them? Add all the positives together. I could add all the positives 3 and 7 and 5. All of that will be positive 15. Add all the negatives together, 9, negative 9 and negative 2 is negative 11, right? So if you add a positive and a negative, you subtract them, and the answer is 4. The longer line or the greater absolute value is positive, so positive 4. All right, so that's how you add using keep, change, opposite. But there's an easier way. Okay, what's the easier way? This is the circles and squares and you know, sorting them together. Yes, look at this. I think of 3 as, oh, I think of the positives first. Positive 7. See, because I use the operation as a sign. This is obviously positive because if it has no sign, it's positive. Look at the 5. The 5 is a positive. See, remember what we did previously? It's just adding all of these 3. That's already a positive 15. Now, I think of 9 as a not a minus negative 9. Think of the minus as a negative. Do the change immediately. Do the change immediately. See how I circled it? The operation, the minus becomes the sign. So that becomes negative 11. Now I add the 2. What do I get? I get a 4 and positive 4. See that? Because that's greater. So remember, the operation, the operation the operation, the plus and minus becomes the sign. That's the first thing you're going to do. The operation becomes the sign. And number 2, simply add them. Add. And that's what we did to get positive 4. See, we are simplifying the expression. Okay, now, let's think of like terms. Like terms are, they're the same. What makes them like terms? I will circle the following. A alone is like with this and with that and with that. Why did I circle those 4? Think. Oh, yes, you got it. They are like terms because they have exactly the same variables. So what do we mean by like terms now? Like terms means the following. Number 1, they have the same literal coefficient. The letter, not the number, but the letters, the variables are exactly the same. Like terms. Now, a monomial. A monomial is a product of a number and a variable. What else? It has a numerical coefficient. It has a literal, meaning the letter coefficient. And it is not separated by a plus or minus. These are all monomials. They're taken as one. They are taken as one term. Unless I put a plus here, plus 7, that's not a monomial anymore. The two of them will be called now binomial. Binomial. But I'm thinking of mono. Mono means one term. Okay, so these are all monomials. Okay, got it? Next. Grouping like things. People like to group things. We organize our stuff. Now, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of Nikes, what else do I see? I see 1, 2, 3 shoes, Timberland shoes, and 1 clown shoes. What do? Guess what? I label it this way. In ELA, you write them down, the exact words. But guess what? In math people are lazy. You know what will they write? They will just write 4N, representing Nikes, plus 3Ts, representing Timberland, plus 1 clown shoe, 1C. All right? So that's it. I can't add it anymore. You only add if they are the same. Okay? Add only the like terms. You cannot add if they are different. So leave it that way. Don't say it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Nike's Timberland clowns. No. Separate them. You cannot add if they are different. Same thing with math. Now we will combine what we've learned. Which are the like terms? Let's start with the y has nothing in common with the others, but I see the 4. Check out how I circle 4. I include the sign. See that? The x is also a like term. I do not circle only the 3, including the positive. The 5x is also a like terms. All the like terms I combine. So if I add all of them, negative 4x, 3x, and negative 5x, add them up together. If you add them, so negative and negative, negative 9, right? The two negatives is a negative 9 plus a positive 3 is a negative 6x. So all of these are negative 6x. So that's the only thing I can add, right? So I could write down and start with that, negative 6x. But y, you're alone, so I cannot add you. I just bring you down here. So I will write down plus 10y. And you, negative 9z, take note, it's negative 9z. You're alone. I cannot add you to the rest of the terms. I just write minus 9z. See, only the like terms are added, the one in purple. If you're not like with the others, you're not added to the rest. Okay, now let's review what we learned a while ago. Number one, add the numerical coefficients following the rules of sign. You don't need to use KCO, right? And then the second one is copy the common literal coefficients. Only the like terms, copy the variables. Okay, so if we look at this expression, remember no equal sign, I could get the first term, the y, positive 6y, and the negative 4y. Take note, I'm including the sign, and the positive 8y. All these y's could be added mentally, all right? So positive 10y, the positive 6y, the negative 4y, and the positive 8y, all right? So let's add 16 plus 8 is 24y. We added all the positive. 24y minus the 4y is a 20y. So all the y's are positive 20. Okay? So as I said, this part some kids could do mentally in their brain. So, but if you can't, feel free to write it. So all of these are 20y. We simplified it as 20y. But guess what? Negative Negative 4x is lonely. I'm so lonely because why? I don't have somebody which is alike with me. So, sorry, I cannot add you. You're a minus 4x connected to my 20y. So, my answer is this one. Two terms. Actually, it's called a binomial. Okay? So, good. Next, like terms can be added. Last example, all right? Let's try this. The B's together. What else? Yes, you're also a B. These two B's could be connected or added mentally. 10 plus 6 is correct, 16B. We're done with the B's. All right, case. Look, I put a square, so I cannot mix the circle and a square. There's another positive 4K there, all right? Add the negative 6 and the positive 4, we get a negative 2K. 2K, I write it, but since it's negative, I write minus. See that? Next, the last one is what? I use a triangle to distinguish the like terms. So you're alone, you will just be a minus 4a. Can I add my b, my k, and an a? No. They are different terms, so your answer will just be like that. We were able to simplify by combining like terms. Okay, what is our rule? Add using the rules for signs and copy the common sign. All right, now let's try the following examples. These are Edgenuity examples. The temperature in Mariastown was 5.2 at midnight. 5.2 at midnight. The temperature decreased, so went down, minus 1.1 per hour until 7 a.m. Okay? Per hour until 7 a.m. Midnight, right? Midnight. But yes, it started at 12. This one started at 12. Okay? So how many 1.1 from 12 to 7 a.m.? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times of that. 7 times. So 1.1 going down, but 7 times. Okay? All right. Temperature through noon, the temperature increased again. So increase is a positive 4.9. All right, so what did I do? I made an expression. But remember, in an expression, we simplify them, okay? There are no variables here, but I could use my PEMDAS. What do? I can multiply first. Remember PEMDAS, multiply first? So that's going to be 7.7. Okay, copy what you didn't use. 5.2 minus and then plus 4.9. Okay, plus and minus, you could work from left to right or you could do our rules of signs. So get your calculator. 5.2 5.2 minus 7.7, you will get negative 2.5 plus 4.9 plus 4.9 equals 2.4 equals 2.4. So our answer is this one. Okay, got it? Okay, the next example says, what are the variables? Variables, remember, vary. What thing varies? The letters. The letters vary, okay, in this expression. So we see the letter what? We see the letter F. F could represent any number. G could represent any number, right? And H could represent any number. So what are the variables here? The variables are F, G, and H. So that's the answer. Easy, right? Next, which terms can be combined in the expression? Okay, what can you combine? Only the like terms. Like terms meaning they have the same literal coefficient. So let's examine the following examples. Okay, you are an A and there's no other A, but you are a negative 2B, right? All right, B over 12, that's also 1 together. And then, what else? Negative 0.9b. They're all the variables with b. But guess what? This will be negative 2. Okay, think of this as 1 over 12. Right? That's why the 12 is below, right? B. I put the b there. You are a what? You are a 0.9 0.9b, but positive or negative? Negative. All right, so there you are. 1, 2, and 3. All of these three could be added. But you're not asked to add. You're just asked to identify them. Okay, let's work out this last problem. Jeremy saves 35 per month on the first 7 months of the year. So for every month, so therefore 35 should be multiplied by 7, right? Because that's for the first 7 months. Now, he also saves what? $40 for the next 5 months of the year. So $40 for every 5 months. So therefore you have to multiply them, okay? If Jeremy if Jeremy spends none, no spending, okay? How much? How which expression shows how many dollars we'll have saved at the end of the year? So 7 months and the 5 months, put them together. Is that a plus or a minus? Obviously, it's a plus, right? And you just need an expression. There is no equal sign. No need to write an equal sign. So now look at the following. Which one looks correct? There you go. Awesome. So that's our lesson for today. Remember, this is Ram saying that results is equal to action plus motivation. Good luck.